here with Jed, who has built this beautiful Triumph. Jed, lovely to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
I want to know everything about the design process, all the creative ideas behind this build.
Yeah, so I'm a huge Triumph fanboy. My other bike's a 2005 Bonneville, and always wanted a classic. So this was originally a Met Police bike. It's a 1969 T100P. And again, the whole classic thing, I love scrambling. I love the desert races of the 60s. So this bike is essentially my take on a 60s desert racer. So the idea was to just strip as much weight off as possible, get rid of anything I didn't need. All the original mud guards, which were steel, really heavy, all the wiring stripped out. And I managed to probably reduce it by about 50 kilos, just in bits.
And replacing it with the lighter weight parts, does that obviously reduce the weight? Does it make it faster? Does it make it go a little bit?
It will make it a bit faster. It makes it more manageable off-road, easier to chuck around, easier to transfer the weight when you're riding off-road, which on the shakedown I did on Monday, hence why it's so dirty. It proved itself to perform really well.
We can clearly see that it's been ridden. I love the fact that you've displayed it like this. It's just, it shows that it's not only customised, but it's rideable and practical to ride. Yeah. So you built this to ride it?
Yeah, 100%. I didn't want it to be a show queen. It's not perfect by any means. The paint, there's chips here and there. It's a well-used bike, and I'm going to keep using it and riding it as much as I can. And, I'm looking for the next day that I can book this circuit again so I can just take it off-road and just enjoy it. Yeah.
What was it like riding it?
It is, so put it this way, the group that I was with were all on modern motocross bikes, good suspension, and they're probably going around the circuit 4 times quicker than me. So I wasn't even going to try and keep up. I know I'm on a machine that's, from the 60s. But it's fun. If you know what to expect when you're riding it and you don't push yourself too hard, you know the limits of the bike, it's just a good laugh.
And what would be the top speed on something like this?
Top speed, in this setup, probably about 65 miles an hour.
That's all right. I feel like if you get to national speed limit,
it's fine. As long as I can sit on a dual carriageway or even the slow lane of a motorway and I can cruise along, that's fine. But, it's not built for that. It's built for off-road. And the most speed I'll probably see around a circuit is probably 35 miles an hour, 40 miles an hour. So
I can't believe this was an ex-Met Police bike. So why would they use something like that on the road?
Well, back in the day, Triumph was one of the big manufacturers in the UK, and they had contracts with law enforcement like you see BMW with cars today and all these other manufacturers. Even Triumph today, they're still providing bikes to the police. So this bike originally would have been laden with panniers for radios and all the stuff that the police have to carry, warning triangles, first aid, whatever they need. So it would have been, a big, heavy, bulky bike, but they used them because they were nimble in traffic. And compact, nimble, easy to get around, perfect for London. And the 500cc unit is a bit lighter than the 650, so definitely an advantage for the police.
Maybe you can go around the bike and check out some bits that you've added or taken out or anything like that?
Yeah, we'll start right at the front. So originally it would have had an 18-inch front wheel, so that's a 19 now. The 18 would have been slightly smaller to turn in quicker and manoeuvre quicker through traffic, but the scramblers need a bigger front wheel to just clear the ground better. So I've done front wheel and tyre. Front mudguard is an aluminium front mudguard, again just to reduce the weight. Original unit would have been steel.
I love the brushed alley.
Yeah,
finish.
It's a nice finish.
Very nice.
Smaller headlight, just to tidy the front end up a bit.
Can we see the headlight?
We can. Do you want me to uncover the headlight? Yeah, let's uncover the headlight.
Oh, nice.
Cover, it's foam padded, and when you're riding off-road, it just stops stones and stuff from the rider in front from smashing the glass.
Yeah. Like they do that with tape on track days.
Exactly, yeah. So it's the same sort of thing. And it just looks the part. What else? So original analog speedo, which I really like. Very 60s, bright orange needle. Took away, it had a rev counter as well. But again, when you're riding off-road or even on the road, you don't really need it. You listen to the sound of the bike when you want to change gear. So I made a custom bracket for that to centre it. Yeah, that metal, I cut that out from a sheet of aluminium. US spec handlebars, so the original bars on this bike were much narrower. Again, to get through traffic and stuff, being a police bike. So a bit wider, have more control over the bike when you're riding. So the US spec bars. Original, I haven't painted it or anything. That's the original paint. I think.
It's good nick.
Yeah, it's very good condition. When it was a police bike, it would have all been white. So it's black now. I really like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, kept the tank original. The pipes, we've got one either side. They're straight through, no baffling, very loud. It sounds wicked. Yeah, it sounds insane. And again, the high pipes for ground clearance when you're riding off-road, because the originals would have swept way under the engine and then come out the back. And again, raise them a bit. Weight reduction as well. Horsepower-wise, it's probably somewhere around 40 horsepower, 30, 40 horsepower. Not a lot, but it's a light bike, so it's enough.
Good for a restricted license as well.
Yeah, you could ride it on a restricted license for sure. Seat is not original. So seat was made, custom base, foam all shaped up and then upholstered.
Nice.
But this seat, so the original seat for the police bike would have been a single seat because they would have had boxes and stuff on the back to have all their equipment, yeah. So this seat is like a desert racer seat. It's thicker to give you that padding when you're riding off-road, so you don't get, your back shaken to bits.
Bad suspension.
Yeah. Original suspension. I'm going to upgrade that at some point because it's very hard. And then good off-road tyres, just for good traction. Tyres as well. Yeah. And then the air filter there. That's a desert air filter, just to keep the dust out, keep it protected and sheltered, and keep the air clean that's going into the engine.
Was there any point in the build that you thought, what next, or I feel a bit stuck, or I feel out of ideas?
Not really. I had quite a clear vision in my head of what I wanted to achieve, and again, building my other bike into a desert racer style bike, but being a newer bike, I couldn't achieve everything that I wanted to with the classic, getting the weight down to where I wanted it to be, and the look, the proportions are just different on these older bikes. So I had this clear vision, and it was just a case of finding the right parts and making the right parts to bring it to life.
It's a beautiful looking machine in its own way, you know what I mean? Yeah. I like that it's not polished. I think that stood out, this one and that one, when we were having a look. They really stood out because they're just kept in the condition that they would naturally be. They're made for this condition,
That's it. Tried to get out as much this summer as I can, on just green lanes, and then a few more of these private MX track days, just to enjoy it, 'cause it's such a good laugh, so much fun. You get a good group of friends together and you'll go out and just have a good time, really. We're green lane and scrambling, for sure. So that's where it will spend most of its time. And then, of course, riding around town, going to get coffees at nice coffee shops here and there, which is what I do all the time.
And it's road legal and everything like that.
Road legal, yeah. Completely right.
How reliable has it been, actually? I was going to ask you.
Yeah, touch wood, it's been fine. I've ridden it, before the show, I'd ridden it 3 weeks, and it's been absolutely sweet.
It's so funny because, they say about classic bikes, they are unreliable and they leak a lot. And me and Peter, when we did our round earlier, we saw the leaks that you've got. I saw 2 puddles of oil. I would panic and call recovery, but you was quite chilled about it.
You know what, these old English bikes, if it's not leaking a little bit of oil, you should be worried, because then there's no oil in the engine. At least I know I've got oil in the engine when there's a little spot on the floor.
Jed, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for showing us around the beautiful Triumph. What is it called? Zippo the Desert.
We'd worked out a deal where if anything went wrong with the bike, it had like an unlimited warranty. Now, Zippo lighters, they have an unlimited warranty. So if anything goes wrong with a Zippo lighter, you can take it back to any dealer and they'll fix it. So I said, well, this has got to have unlimited warranty. So I called it Zippo the Desert Sled.
It's been great to get an insight into the bike. So thank you so much, Jed. And enjoy the show.
And you.
Thank you.
Cheers.